everybody, it's Rebecca here at Wine Mermaids, and I'm here today with my April wrap-up. I can't believe that April's already over. That just hit me. Weird. Anyway, I only read a total of 4 books this month. It was an interesting reading month for me. I read a lot of really long things, really tough things, and I also spent a lot of time watching TV in April. Like all of Legion and parts of Downton Abbey, because I'm rewatching it, and 13 Reasons Why, and other things. And I also read really big books, and I was trying to write for Camp NaNoWriMo. Didn't read a lot. I listened to 2 of the books, and I read 2 of the books. But they were all really good. I have 2 4s and 2 5s. So impressive, good reading month, just not a lot of content in it. So let's start out with the 4s. The first one is Nevernight by Jay Kristoff, who is part of the co-duo of Illuminae by Amie, Kauffman, and Jay Kristoff. So this was my first solo Jay Kristoff book, and it's an adult novel, and it's about a female assassin who goes to assassin school because she wants to kill people to avenge her father's death and her own really crappy childhood that happened because of that. So she goes to assassin school to become an assassin, and it's very cool. It's very dark. There's a lot of gore and very graphic sex scenes and things, so if you are squeamish or are not, that does not sound like your thing, please don't read it because you will not enjoy it. Also, it takes about 100 pages to get into it. It's a pretty thick book as well, and so it's got a lot of flowery writing, and it can be interesting and difficult to get into the style of writing, but once she gets to the assassin school, it really does pick up the pace, and it's very much like surprising and like details and intricate things that are happening that you might not necessarily pick up on at first. It's very interesting, it's very cool. I like the main character of Mia a lot, and I like the supporting characters. I really liked the world. It's a world where there are 3 suns, and so it is literally never night for most of the time. It's only dark for like 3 weeks at a time every 3 years or something like that. It's really insane, and so like it's never night, which is a really interesting concept for a world, and I really liked it. And the other thing that may throw you off, but you may really enjoy it, it's something that I really enjoyed because I'm also kind of a nerd. Kristoff uses a lot of footnotes in his writing. So still traditional world building happening, but there's also footnotes that give you even more detail about this world. So just imagine like all of the info he knows. It's like if Harry Potter had footnotes for like all the stuff that's on Pottermore. It's kind of that kind of information. So some of it is you could skip. It's unnecessary if that's not your thing. But as it goes on, it gets funnier and funnier. Like there's a dry humor in there that's pretty good. So it just gives you more background information that I really liked. I like to kind of get all the information I can and all that, and I really liked the dry humor in there as well. So I really liked it because of that. I liked the characters, I liked the assassin. It's what Throne of Glass could be, but better and more adult, and so I am warning you that it is not young adult. It's not. So it's very good though. If you want an adult assassin story with a cool kick-ass female, read Nevernight. So I did give it 4 out of 5 stars, and I'm gonna read the second one when it comes out because I really liked it once I got into it and was able to get past the weird writing style and then that I came to love. The second book is my other 4-star read, and it's The Timekeeper by Mitch Albom. I listened to this on audiobook, read by Dan Stevens, who I'm currently re-obsessed with. He did a fantastic job. The only reason I picked up this book is because Dan Stevens read it. I went on my library on Overdrive and I just searched his name for all of his audiobooks, and my library has 3, and I've currently now listened to 2 of them. The other one is my other audiobook from this month. So I listened to The Timekeeper solely because Dan Stevens narrated it. Hi Sora, this is my cat Sora. He's been making an appearance in lots of my videos recently. Anyway, I picked up The Timekeeper because Dan read it, and I really liked it. It's basically the story of Father Time. And so Father Time is this man back and a long time ago, thousands and thousands of years ago, who starts like counting time. Basically, he's the first person to ever start counting time, and so he's punished for this by becoming Father Time. And so it's the lessons that he learns and how he imparts that wisdom on people in our time. And so it's the story of 3 different people. You have Dor, who is Father Time, and then you have a young girl who is a teenager and she is dealing with teenage things with a boy, and then there's an older gentleman who is about to die and he's trying to have more time, and it's the story of the 3 of them and what they learn. And it's very much like a think piece on time, which I really find fascinating anyway. So I really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars because of that. I also thought the narration, again, was really brilliant, and I don't think I would have picked it up otherwise, so I'm really glad that I did. So I gave it 4 out of 5. Next up is my other audiobook, which is Boy Tales of Childhood, which I gave 5 out of 5 stars. It's one of my favorite audiobooks I've listened to this year. Also narrated by Dan Stevens, my first Dan Stevens audiobook narration, and this is Roald Dahl's memoir of when he was a child. It's very short. It's one of the shortest audiobooks I've ever listened to, and I absolutely loved it. It was so cute, and I thought, again, the narration was really brilliant. Like, it feels like he's this older man telling you his story of his childhood, even though Dan Stevens is like 35. He's not, but it sounds like it. It sounds like a grandpa telling you his stories, and I loved it. And so again, I love Roald Dahl. I grew up reading Roald Dahl stories, and so it was really fun to kind of figure out where that inspiration came from. Things like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, you can hear parts of where that came from in his life. And Matilda, if you want to know more about Roald Dahl, or you want to, find out about his childhood, it's very good. I don't know about the actual book, but the narrated version, the audiobook, is fantastic. And there's a second book called Going Solo, which my library does not have, but I really want, because it's also narrated by Dan Stevens, and I want to find out about Roald Dahl's life once he's older, like once he's no longer a boy, but a man. So I'm looking forward to hopefully listening to that one soon. Finally, the last book that I read in the month of, April, is The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. It's all over BookTube right now. Everybody's loving it, and I am no exception. I absolutely loved it. It's the story of Star, and she witnesses the needless murder of one of her friends, and she is Black American, and she lives in a poor Black American community, and her friend is shot by a cop, a white cop. And it's very timely. It's what's happening. It's all the Black Lives Matter movement and all of that, and it's very, very, very good. I highly recommend it to everybody to read it. I think that it opens up a lot of eyes. It really shows you that experience and that voice, and we're not really getting a lot of it, especially in fiction, and we need it. And so it's a fantastic book. It's brilliant. It's heartbreaking. It's wonderful. It is just one of the best books I've read. It's necessary right now, and everybody should read it immediately. So do it. Go pick it up and go read it, because it's fantastic. Well, those are all the books that I read in March. It's only 4, and then half of another book, which I'm currently reading, Master and Margarita by Mikhail Bulgakov, which is a 1930s Russian novel that is pretty tiny print and takes a lot of focusing on the words. So this has taken up the last like week or 2 of my life, and I'm still not even done with it yet. So yeah, that'll be on my May wrap up. You'll find out what I thought about that one. But let me know what your favorite book is that you read in April, and thanks for watching. That's it for me today. I'll see you next time.